London, I'm Monita Rajpal. This is World Report. An English couple held by Somali pirates for more than a year are finally homeward bound. Paul and Rachel Chandler now face a long recovery from their ordeal. CNN's David McKenzie is on the line with us from Nairobi, Kenya, with the latest on when they're expected to touch down on British soil. David. 370 incidents so far this year. A recent report shows pirates are intensifying their attacks around the world. The International Maritime Bureau says that Somali pirates were responsible for 168 of those attacks. Currently, 23 ships are being held by pirates worldwide, with 536 crew members held as hostages. The death toll is rising as Indian rescue workers sift through the rubble of a 5-story building in New Delhi. At least 65 people were killed when the residential building collapsed. Officials fear that number could soon rise to 70. CNN's Sarah Seidner takes us to the scene.
The death toll continued to rise throughout the day here after a multi-story building collapsed on families.
Today, British Parliament is expected to hear about several media reports that say the British government is going to pay millions in compensation to former Guantanamo Bay detainees. ITV News first broke the story. Here's their report from Keir Simmons.
Binyam Mohammed arrived back in the UK last year with terrible stories of...
That was Keir Simmons reporting there. Just to give you a quick reminder on Guantanamo, at the start of 2010, there were 180 prisoners at the U.S. detention center. The majority of them were from Yemen. At its peak, the prison camp held more than 750 prisoners from 40 different countries. More than 570 prisoners have since been released. Last year, the White House announced that as many as 100 of the remaining detainees will be moved to an empty prison in Illinois. Well, the jury is deciding the fate of one. We have this just in. Britain's Prince William is engaged. Clarence House has confirmed to CNN that Prince William and Kate Middleton have announced their engagement. They will marry in spring or summer 2011. Soon has withdrawn. Pakistan is now in its dry season. However, the rains continue for Southeast Asia. Let's go to Ivan Cabrera at the World Weather Center with more on that. Ivan.
Yeah, we were covering those dramatic floods there in Pakistan for
Ivan, thank you for that. A nightmare scenario in Haiti has gone from bad to worse. Hundreds of protesters, outraged over their government's handling of the cholera epidemic, are venting their frustrations on the streets. CNN's Ivan Watson has more on the clashes between Haitians and UN peacekeepers. That's Ivan Watson reporting there. We want to bring you more now on the news that's just coming into CNN. The engagement of the Prince William and Kate Middleton, Prince William, the heir to the British throne. They just announced their engagement just moments ago. Their wedding is expected to take place in spring or summer of 2011. Let's take a look back at the relationship between the two, and CNN's Max Foster reports. But you and I both know in this day and age of 24-hour news and tabloid newspapers around this, the pressure is on. She's not going to have a low-lying life where she's going to be able to sit quietly and be quiet and be on her own up in Anglesey. The pressure is going to be on the two of them now.
Well, the pressure is going to be on, but I think...
A good news story, one of those happy news stories. And Eve, thank you for that. Let's go back to our Richard Quest. Richard, if you're still there on the line, I'm sure we can expect a huge ceremony next year here in London.
Well, don't put money on that.
Know about Kate Middleton is what we see in the papers and in the news, that she comes from this upper middle class family, successfully self-made entrepreneur family. But what we don't really know is, who she really is and what she really wants for her life, and what the expectations will be on her now.
Oh, well, we do know with